Good morning and welcome to my channel. It's been about 2 weeks now that I've not posted, and it's because I'm chewing on this topic that is dominating the internet now. The question of whether Nigeria will stay united or get divided into fractions. And as I chew on it and think very deep about it, because I just don't want to open my mouth and talk, I want to be sure that when I talk, I will talk from conviction and talk the truth as I see it, no matter what. If you look around the world, it is towards unity. The United States are strong because it's the union of a lot of countries. And because of that, they have a very deep pocket and have a lot of power. And when EU or the Europeans, when they saw that, they decided that for them to be strong, they have to come together. And that is the birth of the EU, the European Union. And Africa has been trying to do that. We have regional cooperation. We have AU, which is the African Union. And they've been trying to sink the borders and have a united Africa. Now, come back to Nigeria. We've lived together for 89 years now, and more, because that was 89 years of independence. We've been staying side by side before that, under the hegemony of the British Empire. If I say there's no marginalization, that would be a lie. There's marginalization, but that marginalization is not limited to any one region. It's spread all over the country. The Hausas are marginalized. The Fulanis are marginalized. The Yorubas are marginalized. The Igbos are marginalized. The Ibibio are marginalized. The Kanuris are marginalized. The Binis are marginalized. The Edos are marginalized. We have it all over the country. But the present problem that we are having is not the making of the Hausa people or the Hausa Fulani. It's more the making of the South. It was two Southerners that are debating whether to make the union that is called Nigeria a perfect one or an imperfect one. And by that I meant whether there should be free entry and free exit. And the ironclad Nigeria won the day. And that sealed our fate. And that's what is making it very difficult to get out. And then, when Agu Irozi was there, he removed the regional clause in the constitution, which still stay up till today, will become a federal entity because of what Agu Irozi did. Otherwise, each region was to see to their welfare and pay to the central purse part of their earning. And that is not fixed. As at that time, it was said to be 50%. But that is not fixed. The parliament can come in at any time and change that. And whatever the system that we are running now is not ironclad also. Most of the Constitution was written mostly by the Southerners. And the amendment that went into it was done by the Southerners. So the ball is definitely in our court. I've been hearing that Biafra want to branch out. On paper, it looks good. It looks very good. If the Biafrans stay on their own, the Yorubas will stay on their own. The Hausas will stay on their own. The Fulanis will stay on their own. But that's just theory. In practice, it doesn't stay that way. Once fragmentation starts, go and ask the Sudanese. They spend more than 20 years, if not more, agitating to stay on their own. And when they give them Southern Sudan, immediately they realize that they cannot stay. Who will rule us? You cannot rule us. We are equal partner in this. And it's always so. It's always the case. And now they are into a war. Nigeria is best the way it is. Nigeria, with what it is now, is giving leadership to the whole of Africa. Whether it's openly or from the background. When Nigeria fragmented, all of us would not be as powerful as the entity called Nigeria. And the fragmentation will not stop there. Let us take the Igbo nation as an example. Imo will want to rule, Enugu will want to rule, Umofia will want to rule. Every part of the Igbo land will want to assert themselves as the most successful, and the fragmentation will continue. The same thing will happen to the Yorubas. The same thing will happen to the Hausa land. And now the Biafrans are assuming that the middle belt will go with them. In theory, it sounds very good. In theory, even they will sign on the dotted line just to escape the gravity called Nigeria. But as soon as they are part of that entity called Nigeria, they will agitate to be on their own. The best thing is for Nigeria to stay the way it is and work to unite the entity called Africa. We are the one that will work to make Africa a united nation. If we start fragmenting, what message are we sending to the rest of Africa? This is just my widow's mind. I'm not saying this is the way it is. If you read the label on my channel, it said it is voice for reason. It's not the voice of reason, it's voice for reason. If you hear what we are saying, you go and sit down and think about it. Please, the entity that is Nigeria should stay as a united nation. We can adjust the structure. There should be structural adjustment program where we spell out in the constitution that will be written what we want. We can rotate the government. We can even dictate how the money collected from the federal will be spent. And we can go back to our regional development. It will all help us. But please, and please, and please, don't start this fragmentation. On paper, it looks very good. It's like a magic wand that will give us all that we wanted immediately. But let me ask you a question. The Yorubas are ruling the Yorubas. The Igbos are ruling the Igbos. And the Hausas are ruling the Hausas. Are we better off for it? We still get allocation. People are talking about the security allocation. What happened to it? Why is it disappearing? That's the question we should be asking ourselves, not fragmenting. Thank you. I will expect comment from people because I want to do another part. Thank you.